Hi, I'm Jeannie Leonard. I'm the Family and Consumer Science Extension Agent here in Randolph County. We're at the Randolph County Extension Office, and we're going to talk a little bit today about egg safety. We're going to talk about some Easter ideas that you can try over the Easter holiday. But let's talk about boiling those eggs. Everybody has boiled eggs at Easter, and we're going to talk about the correct way to do that, because some people boil them to death, some people don't boil them enough. So what I always suggest to do is take your eggs, lay them on a single layer in your pan, and we're going to add enough water that there's an inch over the eggs, okay? You have to let the eggs age a little bit. Go ahead and buy your eggs. What I do is I buy them about 2 weeks before I'm going to use them, because the older the eggs are, the easier they are to peel. If they're fresh from the chicken, you're going to be all day trying to peel them. What we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on these. We're going to let them start to boil, come to a full boil. Then I'm going to cut them off, and they're going to set for 15 minutes. And then that's what we're going to do is we'll put them in an ice bath to stop the cooking process, and they'll be easy to peel from that point. But some things you need to know about these eggs while we're waiting for the water to boil. You can't watch a pot, you know that. One thing is eggs need to be kept in the refrigerator because we don't want salmonella to grow. Another thing we want to do is we don't want to dye our Easter eggs and set them out on a basket that are real pretty and then decide to eat them 2 days later. That's not a good idea. Some of the things you need to do is when you're cooking, always wash your hands. You also want to use those eggs that you boil, or your deviled eggs, or your boiled eggs that you do. They need to be used within a week, because if not, bacteria can start to grow. And the problem is once we cook them is when we start worrying about them. Eggs are actually good for about 6 weeks from the time they're laid till you buy them in the grocery store. Basically, depending on what you're doing with them, it's depending on if you want to use a fresh egg or an older egg. And the way you can tell is you can put eggs in water. I'll give you an example. I got 2 different dozen of eggs, and I know one is older and one is newer. Take a bowl of water, a cup of water. If the egg stays down, let me put some more water in this. If the egg stays down, it's a fresh egg, okay? If it's an older egg, and I know these are older because I wanted them to use them for boil. See how it floats? What happens is air has gotten into the shell, and it's made an air pocket, so the egg is going to rise to the top. If it's floating like it's all the way to the top, don't use those eggs. Those aren't good at all, okay? So you've got a safety tip with your eggs today. Let's see how our eggs are going. We got a little bubble, not much. Another thing you want to keep in mind is how many of you dye your Easter eggs. For the best results when you're dyeing your Easter eggs, you want your eggs to be at room temperature before you try to dye them, because if they're too hot, they're not going to take on the dye really well. You don't want to color eggs that have cracks. You also, if you're going to eat those eggs, some people don't always eat their Easter eggs they dye, make sure that they have a food grade dye that you're using, because if not, it may not be healthy for you or your children. And also refrigerate those eggs promptly after you dye them, because we don't want salmonella to grow. Then when we start to hide our eggs, keep them away from pests, insects, chemicals. If you're going to eat those eggs after we find them, put them back in the refrigerator, and don't eat any eggs that we have broken in that have cracked on the shell, because salmonella can get in those. Cut it off, and it's going to set for 15 minutes. All right, it's been 15 minutes. We're going to take these, drain them, and we're going to put them in an ice water bath. Basically, I've taken ice. I'm going to fill cold water in here, and then I'm going to put my hot eggs in here. And let me show you how easy they are to peel. And what I do is I put them back in the cold water to keep them from, to help them cool down. Okay, now we're going to make a wonderful casserole to have for Easter brunch, or really, I'll be honest, I have this for dinner sometimes because I like breakfast for dinner. You're going to take a crescent roll and you're going to put it in a 9 by 13 dish. This should have enough grease in it to not have to grease your pan. If you have the crescent rolls that have all the little preparations in them, just smash them out. You'll be fine. This is going to be the crust for our breakfast casserole. You could actually make this the night before, set it out 30 minutes before you're ready to cook it, so the the glass doesn't crack in the oven. Okay. To that, we're going to take 8 ounces of a smoked ham, but you could even use Canadian bacon, your choice of meat. If you're a turkey person, you could use a turkey baste. So you're just going to chop it up. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to spread this over the crust like you're making a pizza. If you would prefer bacon, you could use bacon. You just have to cook the bacon beforehand and crumble it. You could even do sausage. But this is one of those things I usually have all the ingredients in the refrigerator, so if I go home from work and just want to do something quick for dinner, this is a good thing to make. All right, to that, we're going to take 6 eggs. Give you a tip, if you ever get an eggshell in your eggs, if you'll take a spoon and reach down in there and slide it up against the bowl, you can get the eggshell out very easy. Okay. Twist your yolks a little bit before you start putting anything else in there. To this, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of milk. The milk just makes the eggs fluffy. It's going to give it sort of a custard look, but it's going to be wonderful. And to this, we're going to put 1 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, or whatever cheese you prefer, what's in the refrigerator. And then this is a cup of, could be, the original recipe calls for cheddar. This is a 4 cheddar cheese. It's got white cheddar, sharp cheddar. It's just one of my favorites. Mix this together. And then let's grind some pepper in here. I'm not going to put any salt in it because your ham is already salty. But, you know, let whoever's eating this decide if they need some more salt in it. Okay? All right, we're going to pour this over. Cheese. You know, it's Easter. This is like Halloween for adults. We need to have some cheese in our life every now and then. It'll be all right. Because you're going to look for Easter eggs so you can hunt all you need and work it off. Okay, we're going to put this in a 350-degree oven. And it's going to cook about 20 to 22 minutes. But I need to check it at about 22 minutes to make sure the center is set, because I don't want a raw egg. Okay, all righty. Looks like it is set, and it's a little hot. Now I don't know about y'all, but I don't trust somebody that doesn't eat their own cooking. So I might have to take a little bite of this. Look at that. It's like an omelet. this is really good. I hope you try it. And I'll tell you what, I bet we'll find another casserole to try here in a second. So, All right, now we're going to make a sweet casserole. This is a cinnamon roll casserole, so this would be great for your Easter brunch. You're going to start by spraying your, this is 11 by 7 pan, but with some cooking spray so it won't stick. And you're going to take 3 rolls of cinnamon rolls. Any brand you want. They even have an orange type. Okay, and I'm going to cut these in half and just layer them in the pan. So it'll be all right if they overlap. And we want to save that icing that came in the little tube because we're going to use it when it comes out of the oven as our icing instead of making some more. Now, to this, we're going to make a custard. We're going to use 4 eggs. So we're going to break them. Whisk those. To this, we're going to add 1 cup of milk. You could use skim milk, 1%, 2%, whatever you like, whatever's in the refrigerator. To this, we're going to put a teaspoon of cinnamon, which looks like we're going to empty out the thing. Precise measurements. And then we're going to put 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Again, precise. A little's good, a lot's a whole lot better. Okay, we're going to pour this over our mixture. Look at this. And you could make this the night before and refrigerate it. So all you have to do is pop it in the oven, but you need to set it out 30 minutes beforehand to let it come up to room temperature. We're going to put this in a 325 degree oven and bake it about 22 minutes. We've got this out of the oven. We're going to I've taken the icing and gotten out of the packets so it'll be easier to spread. And we're just going to take the icing, and you know it's hot, so it's going to go over this. You could also take, if you really wanted to, maple syrup and eat with it, so it'd be more like a French toast. But I think there's enough sugar in this that we will be fine. You'll work off those calories finding those Easter eggs. And I'm going to get a little corner here. Look at that. You will not be going to the mall and getting one of them cinnamon things no more. You'll be doing this. This is so good. I hope you'll try this. And for this and more recipes, you can go to Facebook and like Jeannie's Kitchen at Randolph County Cooperative Extension. Check it out, and I'll see you next time.